Fusion Mobile, quality e-learning experience on the go.
Supply. Supply may be defined as a quantity of a commodity which a producer is willing and able to offer for sale at a particular price and at a particular period of time. We have the law of supply, and this law of supply states that all things being equal, the higher the price, the higher the quantity of a commodity that will be supplied, or the lower the price, the lower the quantity of commodity that will be supplied. Supply schedule. This is a table showing the relationship between the price and the quantity of that commodity supplied. The types of supply schedule are the individual supply schedule and the market supply schedule. The supply curve. This is a graph showing the relationship between price and quantity of the commodity supplied. The types of supply are the composite supply, the joint or complementary supply, and the competitive supply. Composite supply. This occurs when a certain commodity can serve two or more purposes. In other words, the supply of the commodity for one purpose will greatly affect the supply of the same commodity for another purpose. For instance, crude oil. The supply of crude oil, petroleum, for the production of petrol will greatly affect the production of kerosene and other uses of petroleum. Joint or complementary supply. This supply occurs when two or more commodities are produced and supplied from one source. An increase in the production and supply of one will automatically bring about increase in the production and supply of the other commodities that are produced from same source. For example, an increase in production and supply of petroleum can also lead to an increase in supply of kerosene. Competitive supply. This occurs when many commodities are supplied for the satisfaction of a particular want. In other words, it is the supply of two or more commodities that serve as substitutes or alternatives to another. Example, meat and fish. Factors affecting supply are the price, the level of technology, the cost of production, government policy, weather, taxation, price of other commodities, number of procedures, and natural disasters. The price. The higher the price of any commodity, the higher the quantity that will be supplied, and vice versa. The level of technology. Improved techniques reduce cost per unit of products and increase outputs or supply. The cost of production. If the cost of production increases, the producer tends to produce less of a commodity. Government policy. Example, subsidy given to farmers in the form of free importation of equipment can lower production costs and increase supply. Weather. If the weather of a particular area is favorable at a particular period, more agricultural products will be produced and their supply to the market will increase. Taxation. An increase in taxation of materials used in production may discourage production, thereby leading to reduction in supply and vice versa. Price of other commodities. The supply of commodity will be affected if the prices of other commodities rise. If the price of a substitute like maize increases, the quantity of rice produced will fall. Number of producers. If the number of producers of a commodity increases, there will be a corresponding increase in quantity supplied. Natural disasters. A plague of insects, flood, war, drought, or fire will negatively affect the supply of commodity. Changes in quantity supplied. This means the movement from one point to another on a supply curve. Shift or change in supply. There is a change in supply if the supply curve shifts to an entirely new position. Exceptional or abnormal supply. These are supply patterns which do not abide by the laws of supply and therefore give rise to the reverse of the basic laws of supply. The causes are existence of some fixed assets, rising wages, target income, monopolistic practices. Existence of some fixed assets Land is a fixed asset. With time, the price of land increases without a corresponding increase in its size. This situation can lead to an abnormal supply curve. Rising wages. As the wage rate increases, labor would at first increase its effort and the length of time they are willing to work. After a certain wage rate, labor is no longer willing to increase the number of hours worked. They increase the number of hours they will work at a higher wage rate, leading to a supply curve that has more than one slope. Target income. This is a situation that is more applicable to agricultural products. A farmer who aims at a particular income target may go on supplying the market even when prices fall. Also, when prices increase so high that he can quickly attain his target income, he can cut back on supplies. Monopolistic practices. A sole supplier of a product to a market may hold back supplies even when prices are rising to push prices still higher up. Elasticity of supply. Elasticity of supply may be defined as the degree of responsiveness of supply to the little changes in the price of a commodity. The types of elasticity of supply are the elastic supply, the inelastic supply, the unity or unitary elastic supply, the perfectly elastic supply or infinitely elastic supply, and the perfectly inelastic supply or zero elastic supply. Elastic supply. This supply is said to be elastic if a small change in price leads to a greater change in the quantity of goods supplied. In other words, the elasticity is greater than 1 or unity. Inelastic supply. This supply is said to be inelastic if a large change in price leads to a smaller change in the quantity of goods supplied. Here, elasticity is less than 1. In this case, elasticity is less than 1 but greater than 0. Unity or unitary elastic supply. Supply is said to be unitary when a change in the price leads to an equal change in the quantity of goods supplied. In other words, 5% change in price will lead to 5% change in supply. Perfectly elastic supply or infinitely elastic supply. This supply is said to be perfectly elastic when a change in price brings about an infinite effect on the quantity of goods supplied. In other words, a slight increase in price can make producers to increase the supply of the commodity, while a slight decrease in price will make producers to stop the supply of the commodity. Perfectly inelastic supply or zero elastic supply. This supply is said to be perfectly inelastic if the change in price has no effect whatsoever on the quantity of goods supplied. In this situation, elasticity is equal to 0. Factors affecting elasticity of supply are the cost of production, the nature of commodity, the cost of storage, time, market discrimination, availability of storage facilities. The cost of production. Other things being equal, low cost of production normally results in elastic supply and vice versa. The nature of commodity. While durable commodities are inelastic due to their nature, perishable ones are elastic in their supply. Cost of storage. Producers will supply all their commodities to the market if the cost of storage is very high, thereby making the supply to be elastic and vice versa. Time. This relates mainly to agricultural products, which remain for a long time in the farm before they are harvested. Before their harvest, their supply is inelastic, but after harvest, it becomes elastic. Market discrimination. Elasticity of supply of a commodity depends on where it is sold. When few commodities are sold at a particular location as a result of lower price, such commodity can be taken to another location where the prices are higher. In this case, supply is elastic and vice versa. Availability of storage facilities. The availability of storage facilities leads to inelastic supply after harvest, while non-availability leads to elastic supply. Concept of equilibrium. This is a situation which occurs when there is a balance between quantity demanded and supplied. The price which equates demand with supply is equal to equilibrium price, and this gives rise to the third law of demand and supply, price legislation or price control. This refers to how the government or its agency fixes the price of essential commodities. Types of price legislation are the minimum price control policy and the maximum price control policy. The minimum price control policy is the lowest prices by law below which the specified goods and services cannot be sold or bought. Minimum prices may be fixed on commodities if the aim is to protect producers. Maximum price control policy. A maximum price control is the highest price level above which goods and services cannot be sold. Under this condition, nobody is allowed to sell goods and services above the maximum price, but selling below is allowed.